For everything that you are doing in your life, there's a reason why you're doing it. Once you understand your needs, you will understand your actions. And if you understand your actions, you will understand your habits. Important part of personal development is to get rid of any negative habits, like you said. To do that, it's essential to understand why you created it and why you are keeping it. What role does fear play in this whole process?
You know, I actually want to start with a small metaphor. We are currently, busy with renovating our house, and I had a conversation with one of our painters, and I basically, I asked him how long this is gonna take, and he said 70% of the new paint job, is getting the old paint off. That's 70% of it. Imagine that. And 30% is painting the house. Do you see now why people do this? It's such a long process to get all the old habits and the negative stuff, and then just that 30% to do the improvements. So it's a huge step in just starting to slowly but surely get rid of the old stuff, like the old habits, maybe old friends that are not good for you. But fear does play a big role, and I think once we also just embrace that, not avoiding it, for example, because it only makes it worse, the more scarier it gets, for example. So I think slowly taking a deep breath and just sitting with yourself and getting comfortable with it. Once you do it, you should probably do it again. Like do something that you wouldn't usually do. Like you start something that you didn't think you would be able to do. Like for example, me being on this radio show today, on this program, that I think was also one of my biggest fears. But here I am, and I'm actually very comfortable right now as well. So we need to just head on into what we want to do, what we want to avoid. Once we get into it, we'll be like, okay, but I'm so glad I actually took this step. I'm actually very happy.
And the reason why most of us don't get rid of the old and start with the new, it's because, like you said, 70%, and it's a lot. So we would rather stay in this mess that you are, or in this position that you are, this pathetic position that you are. You'd rather stay in this position, being unhappy, being unfulfilled, than to take the step of going out for the and create the new, or engage in the new, because we're afraid. And fear really in our everyday lives, fear plays such a big role in many of the things that we don't achieve in life is because of fear. But the time has come for us to face our fears. And like you said, the first step, like the first radio show, or being on the radio for the first time, it's a challenge. But when you come back the second time, it will be so much easier. Then it will be like 30%, you see. It will be easy and it will become natural. Absolutely. So with fear, we need to face that fear. The first thing to do is to face it.
Yeah.
And what better way to face it is to engage in it.
Yes, to engage in it. And I like that, because ever since you've spoken to the school kids and you've explained to them how the brain works, the brain is there to protect ourselves. Exactly. But when we feel this, when we feel fear, we want to run away from that feeling, because we don't want to feel it.
And another thing, a cousin of mine, she's actually scared to go into elevators. She's scared of the whole, and I told her to come with me one time. It's not high. We'll just go to the 3rd floor, and she went in there, and she, it was the whole, euphoric rush, and then the adrenaline, everything, but that was amazing, can we go again, and I said, well, let's do it again tomorrow, then we'll go to the 5th floor tomorrow, just small changes like that, and then go every day, instead of taking that, while it is obviously healthier to take the stairs, face that fear, and then, you don't have to, and then you can go back to taking the stairs.
And next time, it's the second time, the first time is always hard, but the second time and the third time is always easier, and then it becomes natural, and then spontaneous, and when you open your eyes, you achieve your goal, and you live a well-fulfilled, happy.
I think it's such a beautiful thing, to be honest. It's just once you get over that small fear, imagine what else you can do.
Exactly. Whatever your fear is, just face it. Do like Nike says. Just do it. Whatever it is that you fear, just do it.
And that fear comes from yourself.